Today's OP arena build is a bit of a combination, featuring me as the Draven and my friend as the shield, Lee Sin. I found that playing off the augments and items you get is really good for arena, and not to try and force everything. And I got ECDR, which is, I guess, kind of mid on Draven, but my friend got WCDR on Lee Sin, which is quite good if you're getting shields in. The first round is versus Zyra and Senna, and they don't really have any OP early augments, so it shouldn't be that hard. I didn't start commentating over the fights until about round 6 because I didn't think any of the early ones were that interesting, and if that's more of your style, it starts around 6 minutes. Round 1 was a pretty easy win, and I don't think either of us were even close to dying, and this is just the first form of Shield Sin. Round 2 has no special augments or items or anything, so let's check out what our enemies have. Lee has Combo Master and Syndra has Recursion. Neither are that scary, but they definitely can do some damage to us if we aren't careful, especially on this map. Round 2, also easy. Every time I thought I'd take damage, I had my trusty Lee Sin shield to soak it all up. Round 3 is here, so let's see what prismatic item we get. My Lee got Gargoyle Stoneplate, which is pretty nice because he can help protect himself a bit. And I got a pretty funny one. I got Hemomancer's Helm. Hemomancer? Anyway, it gives 60 attack damage, 30 ability haste, and 10% Omnivamp. But the cool part is the passive. Once you reach 30% Omnivamp or lifesteal, you gain 500 health and heal 12% of all nearby damage the enemies take on top of whatever Omnivamp I already have. Put this item on anybody plus a Shield Sin and it's almost impossible to die. Round 3 was a bit more trouble because they kept running away and had to switch who was on every 2 seconds and then they would heal. It was a whole thing. Anyway, my Lee is going all in on the Shield Sin and picked up a Sword of Blossoming Dawn for some shield power and some extra heals for both of us whenever he auto attacks. And I picked up Immortal Shield Bow to get closer to my 30% Omnivamp goal and an extra shield if things get too spicy. Round 4 is Kaisa and Darius, and neither have anything too spicy, so it should be a pretty easy one for us. I attack, I heal, they attack, they hit shield, you know, just basic stuff. Round 5 is more augments, and I think we got two of the best ones for what we were trying to do. I got Serve Beyond Death, which is basically a Renata passive, where if I die, I get gray health, and if I kill somebody while in that gray health, I come back to life. And my Lee got First Aid Kit, which gives an incredible 25% bonus to both heal and shield power. The Silas has With Haste and Shadowrunner, which makes him very fast, and Sanguine Gift. What is he, trying to roleplay as me? And Vi has First Strike and Slap Around. She also has Decapitator, which makes her ult do up to 120% extra damage, which isn't that scary for her first ult, but with Slap Around and some plants, her second ult could do some insane damage. This is the first fight that actually had me nervous. With Sanguine Gift, the Silas is actually healing just about as much as I was, and after a couple of Vi Qs, her Slap Around was starting to stack pretty high, and they both started to do some serious damage. We did manage to take out the Vi on the opposite side of the map where the ring was closing in, and I thought that was game. But then Silas just kept healing, and I swear he was channeling his inner Gojo. He did some pretty good blast cone plays and actually managed to start reviving the Vi, but my Lee said no and went to go kick him further into the fire, and I thought for sure it was game this time. But nope, they both made it back over and actually managed to kill me. Man, I sure wish I had something to, deter that. And when I died this time, I thought, okay, for sure it's over now. But my Lee Sin, with his Sword of Blossoming Dawn, Super Shields, Gargoyle Stoneplate, everything, survived until the end. And after I revived, I did some axe throwing stuff, and we ended up taking the win. Because I'm Draven, I ended up having enough money for another item on round 6, and I picked up my Bloodthirster and finally awakened my Hemomancer's Helm. 500 extra HP and an insane increase to healing. And my shield picked up a Moonstone for some extra healing and shields. It's round 6 and we reverse a very annoying team, Morgana and TF. The Morgana has Recursion, which is just 60 ability haste, and Tormentor, which applies an infinitely stacking burn to anybody she CC'd. I'm going to pause here real quick to go over more of what they are doing, because the TF is definitely doing an interesting strategy. But Morgana also has an item called Reality Fracture, which spawns 3 Void Mites every time she lands an attack or ability. Now for the TF. He's doing the anvil only strategy, and in case you haven't heard of it, you basically only buy anvils, and after what I believe is 10, you can get a hidden augment called Shareholder Value Shard. And this can drastically increase the stats given by the anvils. King Nidhogg has a video explaining it a bit more, so go check that out. It's kind of a shame too, because he has Mercs Mage, and I'm sure you've seen this do insane damage in some of your games. It makes your basic attacks deal bonus damage equal to 100% of your AP. Basically a Nashor's on steroids. As you can imagine, it's incredibly good on TF, if he had some AP. Okay, finally back to the fight. The thing about Reality Fracture is that it can kind of help Draven. Usually in a Morgana queue, I am helpless and usually lose my axes, but the Void Mites not only let me keep my axes up, but I can lifesteal off of them. Happy coincidence. They're constantly just CCing me, but because of my shield, my insane lifesteal, the Void Mites, and TF's severe lack of damage, it didn't really matter. My HP just did not want to go down. Finally caught up to the TF, but he ran away through the portal, but it's fine, we'll get him eventually. And my shield is taking all the Morgana Qs for me. What a nice guy. Okay, we finally caught back up to the TF and took him out. Now just for the Morgana to get me out of this annoying comp. No real danger of losing, but still very frustrating. After chasing down the Morgana for a little bit, we did finally end up killing her, and another round win. Round 7 is up, and it's just a boring anvil round, except if you're the Twisted Fate, I guess. And I don't even know what I got, but it doesn't matter. We'll reverse the Nautilus in the vein, and forget to check out what they had, but surely it can't be anything as cool as what me and the shield have. They are just CCing me and trying to do as much damage as possible, but my shield is denying almost all of it, and what he doesn't deny, I just heal back up. We got the vein down, but I don't really have any tank killing items, so this Nautilus fight is definitely going to take a second. Managed to revive the vein, but my shield had a nice kick and used the man who revived her to send her back to her grave. Back to the Nautilus fight. This may take a second, so let's get into today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Nah, I'm just kidding. After quite a while, we did finally manage to take down the Nautilus. Not that we were in any danger, it just, took a while. Round 8 is here, and it's another augment phase. I didn't really get any good options, so I just took the light him up for a slight boost to my damage, and my shield picked up Clothesline, which actually could be pretty good, as the tether should almost always be hitting somebody. We're versus Zyra and Senna again, and it looks like Zyra hasn't gotten the spatula yet, so that's good. And she has picked up the Reality Fracture, which does mean free heals and resets of axes for me. And the Senna has Moonflare Spellblade, which makes her next two autos after using an ability have 90% bonus attack speed, and all autos reduce the cooldowns of her abilities by 0.5 seconds. I'm not much of a Senna player, but I assume the item's pretty okay on her. I swear, this is gonna make me even worse of an ADC player. I can just run in with no regards to my own safety, because let's face it, am I ever really in danger with this? We got the Senna pretty quickly, and all we had to do was run down the Zyra. And normally her plants would annoy me, but now it's just more free heals and axes. I was also kind enough to let my shield get a kill for all the hard work he's put in. Good job, buddy. Round 9 is here, and we're back versus the Syndra in the non-shield. I had enough money for a prismatic and picked up a Duskblade, while my shield got a nice foul. I think he wants in on some of this healing. This fight got real scary real fast, as I did my best to run in and die as fast as possible, but my shield saved me and I went to get some plants and reset. I tried to get close enough for him to be able to jump to me, but I failed and he was forced to flash out. But at least I saved him some plants, right? The non-shield tried to 1v1 me and actually got pretty close until my hero came back and saved me yet again. With the non-shield down, it was just a Syndra, but both of us were pretty low, so we should just charge in, right? Thankfully the Syndra also had Void Mites, so I got some free heals from that. But because I've grown lazy and way too confident in our shield and heal combo, I almost died again. But with shields and Void Mites, I stayed alive and kept chasing. By now, she's basically done a full circle and is going to go back and try to revive the league, which could be very dangerous for us. Thankfully, we managed to get her down with one final Q from my shield. If I had to put our situation into one meme, I'm pretty sure this would be it. I'm definitely getting carried. It's round 10, and it's just a silly anvil round, so let's check in on the items. Hemomancer's Helm has done a casual 8.6k healing. Nice. We're back to the TF and Morgana team, and unfortunately for the TF, he did not get the anvil augment. Pretty good on them to be still in the game though. This round went pretty much the same as the last time we fought him, but now I've got some actual damage, so since the Morgana missed her Q, the TF did not have very long left in this world. Now that the TF is down, it's just chasing the Morgana again. And I am doing my best to eat every single Q she throws at me. She does manage to revive the TF at the cost of her own life, but it's just delaying the inevitable. Maybe if he had full AP with the Marks Mage, he could have taken me down while my shield was eating plants. Quick check-in on the items again. My shield's shield and heal items are putting in work, and wow, my Hemomancer's has jumped up to 11,000 in heals. Damn, so close to 11111. I had enough money to sell my boots for another prismatic and actually got Sword of the Divine. And with this, I believe I am 100% crit chance. The Sword of the Divine makes all of my crits do extra damage. Pretty terrifying item on Draven if you ask me. We got skipped for the first time this game, and I didn't have to watch to know that we were probably going to end up versus Silas and Vi team. Now it's round 12 and it's time for more augments. I rolled a pretty nice one called Repulsor. It knocks back enemies when my health drops too low. And this should be good because they are both melee, and it should give me time to heal up again to proc it again by the time they get back to me. Hopefully creating an endless loop of them getting knocked back over and over. My shield got Sonic Boom, which does true damage and slows nearby enemies whenever he heals or shields. Let's take a quick look at Vi and Silas to see what they ended up with. Vi actually got some fun things. For her items, she went Serpent's Fang to try to reduce any shielding done on our team, and Prowler's Claw, which will make her next auto attack after a dash do a lot more damage. And for augments, she got Ultimate Unstoppable, which makes her immune to CC after casting her ult for a couple of seconds, and Tormentor, which applies an infinitely stacking burn every time she immobilizes an enemy. That, on top of Slap Around, could be kind of scary. Silas doesn't have any fancy items, so we'll just go into the augments. And he has Spin to Win, which I assume works on his passive, and Guilty Pleasure, which heals him every time he immobilizes somebody. That paired with Sanguine Gift could make him heal almost as much as me. The fight finally started, and everybody is playing it kind of safe, until the Vi had enough and went in. They immediately started doing a bunch of damage, and thankfully I had Repulsor. It knocked back the Vi, and gave me some desperately needed time to try to heal back up. I made it out of that death pile, but quickly got into another one. Between my shield, my heals, and my Repulsor, I managed to survive, and we were able to take down the Vi. Silas tried his best and managed to get over to the Vi to revive her, but it was too late. Once she was revived, we quickly killed the Silas, and it was only a matter of time until the Vi went down too. But because they had enough team HP, they survived, so we had to do this all over again. It's now round 13, and everyone's already built, so it's just more anvils. This fight was way easier. Silas dove in too fast and took way too much damage before the Vi even ulted me, and all it took was a well-placed Draven ult to finish off the Silas. After he went down, it was a simple task to take out the Vi. Let's go! We did it! We didn't lose a single round, and honestly, it was one of the easier first places I've ever taken. But it did ruin the next couple of ADC games for me, because instead of kiting like I'm supposed to do, I kind of just ran in and was like, why am I dying? Okay, but let's get to the fun part, and check to see just how much our items and augments actually helped us. Shield Bow gave me an extra 2,707 in shields, Hemomancers gave me a boosted 17,500 of healing, and Sword of the Divine gave me almost 4,000 extra damage in just 2 rounds. And my shield's Sword of Blossoming Dawn gave us 7,000 in extra heals. Knight's Vow saved me from 6,000 damage and healed him for about 2,000 damage. Moonstone gave us an incredible 3,000 in heals and 8,000 in shields. And Sonic Boom did 2,500 damage in just 2 rounds. And now for the true MVPs of this game, First Aid Kit and WCDR. Their benefit is unmeasurable, but surely it topped everything else. With everything added up, we either healed or shielded an extra 46,000 total. Absolutely incredible. And that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see some more combos. Maybe a Cho'Gath with Decapiator and Heartsteel Quest.